Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mhleli Ngobo here from Pressed Bro Podcast. Another episode that is very interesting. Today I'm joined by Liberty Bwanali, who is a tech entrepreneur. Now, we all know how important technology is. Technology is a bedrock of development, innovation in Africa and globally. And Liberty is going to tell us more about what it does. Liberty owns a startup called LibConnect. It's an internet-based company in Stellenbosch. And the work that he has done from developing the infrastructure to building prototype and actually technologies that people use to change their lives is just an amazing testament of like what we as Africans can do if we put our minds to innovate and create solutions for our problems. So help me join Liberty. Liberty, welcome to Press Bro.
It's an honor to be here with you, Brother Mhlengi, and everybody at the Press Bro. Less words, more creativity. Very happy to be here. My name is Liberty Bwanali. Born in Zimbabwe, left Zimbabwe when I was 17 years old. So I grew up in this Stellenbosch. And I own an internet company. It's an ISP, internet service provider. We offer internet to the community of Stellenbosch. That's businesses, homes. And as from last year, we've been prototyping at the Stellenbosch taxi rank, which has been going good. So in a nutshell, Liberty is from Stellenbosch, born in Zim, and he's building things for Africa and is here to participate and ensure Africa unifies and we're great together.
I mean, you've been in Stellenbosch longer than you've been in Zim, I suppose.
Yes.
So you are a Stellenbosch person.
Yeah, I'm a Stellenbosch person, yeah.
Now, how did you move from a young man growing up in Zimbabwe to Stellenbosch and then developing technology in Stellenbosch? What inspired the journey to develop internet solution in Stellenbosch?
Yeah, so I always say when I was in high school in Zimbabwe, before I left, somewhere in 2000, between 2000 and 2002, I literally had a dream. And in that dream, I saw South Africa. I already have family here, my aunt and stuff, they're South African, right? So I already knew that there was South Africa, but in this dream, I saw green. And then within that green, it just represented something that was beautiful. Then funny thing is the next day or that same week at our school, they showed us a cartridge, those old floppy disks. Then they told us, you see, in a computer, this is like one of the most important things, what you are holding here. So since I was 14, I was very much fascinated. I was like, no, man, the only important thing in life is God. So you're telling me there is a device or there is this technology that is called internet or computer that's more powerful than that? They say, well, not really more powerful, but it's really powerful in the world. So at the age of 14, I literally made, I can say, an intention, or since then, that's when I knew I was gonna be doing something with the internet, because as soon as I got to South Africa at 17, the first thing I did was find an internet cafe to just go and look at a keyboard in the screen, even though I didn't know what I was doing. But I was like, well, welcome, Lib. This is a computer. So I can say it's a 14-year-old man's dream. Then from 17, I got to Mzansi. Then I started to see the possibilities. Then in Mzansi, it gave me so much love and freedom. Then, it's beautiful. Of which that time I was still in Johannesburg. I remember taking courses. I was working as a waiter, barman, and then at night I was taking courses with IT Intellect. That's where I learned A+, N+. So that's how do you break up a computer and how do you put it together to get it to work again. And then the N+ part of things is like the networking plus. So now you've got this computer working. How do you connect things to it? That's now networking. Sometimes you may need to use a cable, sometimes you may need to do it wirelessly and stuff. But that vision got expanded more when I got to Stellenbosch, because then before I enrolled at the university, I was almost not almost, I was recruited by Wish when it was just still developing, which became then Wish Networks, of which I helped develop the infrastructure. So we grew up developing Stellenbosch networks and stuff. So I can say since age 14, I always knew that I'll be doing this, and I didn't know, of course, to what extent, but I was like, whatever I can do in it, I'll be able to do it. So that's how I became, I think, just glued to the internet, routers, networks, whatever.
I think your journey is quite fascinating because you arrive in a foreign country.
Yes.
You know, you are a young person and you are not exposed as much to internet at the time.
No,
so it's like something new. I mean, you say you go to an internet cafe, you say monitor there, CPU,
yes.
you know, a keyboard, you're like, oh, wow,
yes.
Welcome to Mzansi. And I think you saw the possibilities.
Yes, I definitely see, because I think what fascinated me was the fact that I could search something or tell it what I was trying to do and it knew it. Like, so, because for example, if I went on Google, that time it was Internet Explorer, and say, just maybe type Kadoma, then it will give results of some knowledge about where I was born. I'm like, how does this thing know this thing? You know, so it was almost like magic. So I was fascinated. So that's how I just wanted to understand the more depth, like how is it doing this? You know, so from there I just started developing and working on it.
So now, how did you make a decision to say, okay, from just wanting to understand internet to I'm gonna put myself in a space where I'm gonna develop an internet solution that actually helps people and enable opportunities that people wouldn't have had?
Yeah, so
how did you make a decision?
I would say that's when I went to Europe for the first time. So I went with arts, music and stuff. So I was in Switzerland and Germany eventually. I can guarantee you the whole 1 month I was there, it didn't matter where I was. Internet was just working. And I don't really remember even buying the internet. I think it just came with the SIM card that I had that time. So it fascinated me, and this was in 2010, 2011. I was like, no man, this is unreal, because here our internet, even though I was already involved with Wish, it would be working now. Every 10 minutes or so, every 1 hour, it's not working. So we were used to that. That internet here, it works, sometimes it doesn't work. If it goes away, well, there's something wrong, they will fix it. But then in Europe, nothing went off. So my dream and my wish, and when I came back, that's how we developed Wish and took it to the stage we took it, because I said, the standards I saw there is exactly the same standards I want here. Why does our internet finish? Why is it that whenever I buy data, it's already, I don't have it anymore? Hence why I will talk to you later about the 5 rand internet, the 10 rand internet. It came from something like that, where I saw the freedom of how internet really is, unshaped, unkept, where you just use it and you're free to create. So if I wanted to go live, at that time it was Facebook Live, in Germany I could just go live. I never have to worry about how much data, because it doesn't matter then. So that's actually what I wanted my clientele, my community, our people to experience, that freedom, that joy on the net, but also with, of course, caution, how to use it wisely, what is it about, and stuff like that. So I can say the passion goes deep, in a sense. I saw the best in Europe and I wanted it in Africa. And wanting it then, I knew that I had to work hard for it, of which I went to work and we worked hard for it. And thank God we're here now.
I think it's very interesting, because I think you've done exactly that, which brings me to the next question about, like, one of the things that set your technology apart is affordability.
Yes.
Just expand on that. I mean, earlier you spoke about like how 5 rand, just data for 5 rand goes a long way for like consumers, and how that has enabled some vendors in informal spaces to be able to have access to internet. Just tell us about your solution.
Apart from affordability, truth is, LibConnect is going now for 3 years with no downtime.
Wow.
Facts. I have proof. Why? How do we do that? So you see, you have got your optic fiber coming into your home, if that optic fiber is faulty, you are down. Facts. So that's downtime. LibConnect Africa, we should have the same problems, right? But we just don't always rely on one. So we have got a way, we have worked on a variety of networks, put them together, so that if this one is down, we don't care because this one or that one. So it's like thinking for the worst case scenario. So we actually been giving that 99.6% uptime for the past 3 years, for example. So LibConnect is going for 8 years, of which the first 5 years was heavy building stages, old hardware, trying to get new hardware. But the past 3 years into where we're going now, uptime. So that now gave me a step back and say, wow, the clients are not angry no more, of which they were not, but it's in the beginning they were like, Lib, fix it, bro. You just fix it, you know, of which we fixed it. So I got to a point where I was comfortable with the speeds, with the standards, with how the internet was flowing. But then I wasn't still comfortable with the fact that most of our community, say Clutersville, Kayamandi, Ida's Valley, they could not afford these packages. So then actually I was approached by someone who is a vendor at the taxi rank. So they wanted to use my internet services. So I said, at the taxi rank, it's tough there, man. So I actually made a 10 there another day. And I was like, there's no power here, man. You know, how do I do this? So I went home, I sat down for about 3 weeks or something thinking about it. Then I realized, wait, Lib, you prototyped a UPS. So why don't you try to take that UPS and turn on that router board and that access point and try to see if you can pull internet from one of your towers and actually get to use it so that this guy can maybe prototype, connect, and see if it works. So literally, bro, I took a Tupperware, a little bowl thing. I put some equipment inside there. I put my little UPS in there. And I put a little stick. I put a little hole there. I put a cable tie. I hold the stick so that the antenna does not fall. Then I literally got by the taxi rank the first week. I gave them that. They were looking at me like, what's up with this, Lib? I said, no, just trust me. Let's test. If I'm gonna bring you internet here, this is how it's gonna tell me if it's gonna work or not. Thank God it actually worked for a few hours. They were connected. So then they said, bring that thing again tomorrow. So these were like 4 people. So I created them some free vouchers. Then I gave them some free vouchers. Then the second day I said, man, they're happy with this thing. So then that's when I went home. Then I started working on the first official prototype that I built for them. So if you go by the taxi rank, we've got 3 currently. The one that's on the top, that was the first one. That's now going it's going over 2 years, but it's prototyping for 1 year, 8 months. So I built this box for them. I took it there. Then I gave them free vouchers for 2 weeks. On a voucher, it was like 1 gig. They're going. I'm going every day. I'm putting internet for them. I promise you, I swear to God, if I lie, I die. The second week, they're like, bruh, where do we buy this internet, man? I was like, what? Is it not working? I said, no, it's working, bro, but we actually want to pay something at least. So I knew, okay, the community is starting to understand what we actually do. Then I enrolled the price. The pricing was there all the time, 5 Rand for 500 megabytes, 10 Rand for 1 gig, 20 Rand for 5 gigs. And all that stuff. So now they want to buy it. So when we actually started the prototyping of selling, so we give vendors, say 500 Rand or 1,000 Rand consignment vouchers. For every voucher they sell, they also have money there, and they get to use the free internet, etc., etc. Then we started prototyping. We saw that, okay, people are actually quite cool with this. So how does it work exactly? So for example, 500 megabytes, you pay 5 Rand. We give them 2 days. So 24 hours in router board, it's literally when you are logged in, when you are using the internet, we make those counters move for themselves. So we don't then go and make your counters move for you while maybe you're off the network or you're sleeping, you're not using the internet, so the internet stops working. So the way we have developed the internet for the people there, the community, was When you are online, it counts. So if you come to the taxi rank now for 1 hour, it puts 1 hour. Then you still have 39 hours or something, 48 hours, so it's like 47 hours, something still to go. And even if you come back next week, your voucher is still valid. So why did I do this? I grew up like that. This is Africa. I know what it feels like to not have 5 rand and then to have 5 rand and then to be very cautious on how do I spend this 5 rand. So I thought about it like our taxi rank, these are our informal, these are our people that really needs these services. There's no point for me to try to compete with Vodacom or MTN to try to make that money. No, I must really know why am I doing this, the demographic, how is the money really circulating there? So I took time understanding the people, how everything works there. So when I brought the service, I realized, okay, this vendor buys this 20 rand internet 5 gig. They're here all the time, but then they're gonna use this taxi, and then the taxi driver is gonna buy fruits or vegetables from the vendor. They will also buy internet from LibConnect. So we have created a culture there, an ecosystem that pays itself, that works for itself. Is beautiful. So now you see that if you've got your 10 rand, you get your 1 gig, you can quickly call FaceTime, and then you can actually go on a trip. As long as you keep your voucher with you, you can still come back. So now for our people, it's very important because most likely our people are on grant. So you're waiting for your grant money at the end of the month. But now you only have 20 rand, but you still have to live. So that internet now, 20 rand from LibConnect Africa, 5 gig, you can literally use it for a month, even though it's 7 days. But again, it's not like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's literally the time you are online, that's where you get billed. So then our internet, not only is it affordable, it's always on. If you actually take a trip one day by the taxi rank to actually ask them, when last was the internet off? They don't remember. You see, and that's how I want Africans to not remember problems. So LibConnect Africa went there, we had problems there, and then we took away those problems. With the help of the municipality and the community, the place has been cleaned. It's unified. That's beautiful. So now they're there the whole day, because if I had to give them 5 rand for 500 megabytes, and then in an hour it's finished, these are the same people who are struggling for money. So that means you're now giving them other ideas, and I don't want them to have other ideas, because I feel like life is already difficult for them there. So the idea was to make it easy. So the money we make there, unless it's little profits that I'm like, let me put it back there, because we have got different models, right? So we've got the business client model, which of course people want what they want, 1-to-1 ratio, they want these speeds and stuff. So we take some of those profits and then reinvest it back into the community. That's how I'm able to give affordable pricing like that for actually the people who actually need that.
Liberty, I mean, the work that you're doing is exceptional. I mean, I think I've never seen a solution where you pay for when you're online. It really reminds me of like how internet cafes used to work back in the days, But then I think African problems need African solutions. And I think your solution is tied to the problem of mobility in Africa.
Yes.
You won't always be in a taxi rank.
Yes.
So how can you then pay 5 rand if you're just going to be there for like 10 minutes? You are there every day for 10 minutes.
Yes.
But then if your days is going to expire within 24 hours, then
exactly.
It means the 10 minutes you were there, you'd have lost all the other money.
Exactly.
So now, every time you come to the taxi rank, you are connected.
Yes. Automatically. Yes. So the boxes, by the way, talking about the boxes, to be able to send the internet in the box to the taxi rank, we use LibTech energy. So LibTech energy is lithium energy technology that I have actually inside this little power bank, and I'm busy charging my phone with it. So this type of energy I then of course build a bigger. That's how I'm able to power that internet just as an extra. So it's not easy, just said and done, but we had to kind of sit down and see, okay, how do we really get to work this solution to a point that is actually like a proper solution that people can say that works? Because there's a time whereby you do something and you know that really is just your friends are just telling you what you want to hear, but it's really not working. But it's different with what we are doing here, you know. And it's not always good. There are days when I have problems. You know, sometimes the box is not on. Why is it not on? There can be a variety of problems. There's actually times where the text rank knows, okay, there's a problem there. Quickly put the box in the car. Quickly gets to Irene Park, which is the LibConnect Africa offices. I quickly open that box. 1 hour later, we bring them back the service. You know, I don't know if that exactly answered the way you were going, but I just wanted to come to you to make you understand that this service alone, apart from it being cheap it's difficult to produce it. So it came from a point from that African love there. And also why I love to create this, because everything about it to me is African, because the lithium, these are some of our raw resources, you see. So having to actually have the ability to know how to work with that safely, knowing that lithium actually, if you don't know how to use it, it burns. You can actually create a major fire. It's amazing. So from small stuff like this, these small ideas, I just keep on going. And also I think I listen a lot to the community. It's not about what I want, it's more about what they want. And then of course, like for example, the guy will say, bring me the internet here. So I realized, no man, if I actually just bring the internet for you alone, it's going to be too expensive. So let me rather do it as a community project. That's why we did that, and that's how we're doing that, and on and on.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, how important do you think technology is for the development of Africa as a continent? I mean, like obviously you are already in the tech space, you are in the internet space. How important is internet technology as in a form of internet for the development and advancement of the African continent? Obviously, there is like we feel a little bit behind.
Yes.
You know, it's like the world is moving too fast.
Yes.
And I think there's a saying that says like if Africa doesn't actually get into speed, we're gonna be left behind with like the fourth industrial revolution, the AI and what have you.
Yes.
How important do you think internet is to getting us to speed, to like maybe catch up or even be ahead of the entire world?
So internet, I mean, it's the world we live in now. We can't do anything without internet. So I would say it's one of the fundamentals. And I was in East London last. I always bring up this: when will internet be in the homes of all our people? Is actually just how water comes there. You know, it has to be like that now, because there's nothing we're gonna be doing in the next years that will not revolve around logging in. We're going cashless soon. So how do you take a people cashless who do not have data? You see what I'm saying? How do we teach kids even about AI when they don't have the devices? How many people you know have got these small phones that even can't go to the internet nicely? So forget about them. So we need definitely to improve the infrastructures first. I would say what we need is to educate the African mind to build the technology. Because what we've been doing as of late is just acquiring so much, like we did when Mixit. I came from the MiG-33 world. MiG-33 was special, you know why? Because you had to be technically smart to actually go on a social media and start to chat. You had to do something to make the internet work, and then, you know, so I love that era. And then Mixit came, it made everything easy. No man, just get a SIM card, just buy data, and then you can already chat to Mhleng, just like that. So then things started to become very easy. Then they brought Facebook, then they brought YouTube. No, just sit there and just watch. So we want more technology, but not the way we've been receiving it. Want our African kids to be more interested in developing it, because internet actually is information. So the internet that you and I are interacting on, it's not ours really. We're circulating information that has been built by other nations, by other cultures and stuff. When are we as Africans building African tech? That's where LibConnect Africa comes into play, prototyping these funny things. Because I'm like, it starts funny, yes, then it gets beautiful. These small ideas. So yes, we need a lot of technology, but we need to be building it. For example, this lithium. We have lithium in Zimbabwe, we have cobalt, I think that's in Angola, if not DRC. We have everything. So here in South Africa, we can then have manufacturing plants. You know what I'm saying? Like, within ourselves, Africa, we can make each other whatever we want. We can teach each other, train each other. Then with the world, we don't even have to beg no one. Then we're actually on the equal grounds. So as Africa, we have got a lot of potential. I would say South Africa, we're actually, I think, number one in Africa, of course. Even in the world, we actually come somewhere there at the top in terms of tech. We are far, but our people are backwards. We still have suffering. And this technology can ensure that our people don't suffer no more. Here in South Africa, we have got an opportunity where we can actually industrialize a lot of these things that we infatuate on about. We can be making batteries which we can be selling to the world. You know how much money is in lithium battery energy?
I can imagine.
These are billions every year. Because there won't be spaceships, these rockets without a lithium or some sort of renewable energy source which Africa has.
Even electric cars.
Exactly. Stellenbosch University, we have got greatest minds, professors, now, then, in the future. When are we sending them in the African space to start to develop the real African tech? You see. So you see, we are ahead, but we're behind. Yes.
I think it's interesting because we need to get ourselves in a space where we build.
Yes.
If you think about like in the US, companies like Oracle,
yes,
they build servers, they built infrastructure, and then this infrastructure paved a way for them to actually build and expand their technology.
Yes.
So, and I think maybe that is where we lack also in Africa. We don't prioritize the building of the infrastructure.
No.
We build on the surface.
Yes.
When we build.
Yes.
But then we don't want to think about how to actually go a level deeper.
Yes.
It's quite interesting because I think recently I read that the internet gentleman in Musiwa from Zimbabwe. Masiwa.
Yes.
I think now he wants to actually build a what is it called? I think he wants to almost like have almost like servers for
like an AI type saver hub, like a station, just like on on the Amazon level, what these guys are doing. But me, I'm
AWS.
Like, yes. Yep. Me, I'm like, I support the elder, but I'm also like, we don't even have electricity to burn all this fiber, this AI like that. 1, 2. Internet is very expensive. Even his internet, EcoNet Zimbabwe, he is a chairman of it. It's super expensive. So me and the elder, we don't see eye to eye there. Whereby I'm like, you want to sell us this because I think he's been living in America for a very long time and he's been good for a while. He forgets actually that we really have African problems. So I love the elder, but I think he needs to come back a little bit, you know. I'm very much for his idea, yes, because we have our own type of center, but I don't even know how really is it our own, because normally these things are controlled by people in America and stuff like that. Because a server, I can come and build a server station in your area, but I can still manage it and control it from there. So the only thing you have is an infrastructure, but the knowledge is mine. If you sabotage me, yes, I can make the kill switch, and when the kill switch goes, you just have this technology, which actually, if you think about it, is a nuclear plant, which can self-destruct at the end. So that's why I'm like, I hope Elder is working with the right people, with Africans, with Africa in mind and vision. This will be beautiful, because then we can compete with the world.
Yes.
But if it's, say, an extension of AWS or Google services and stuff like that to Africa, working with Cassava, one of his child companies, then,
it's not gonna solve our fundamental problems.
Not really,
But I think it might maybe make a bit of a dent, at least in terms of like accessing technologies. It's like Starlink.
I would say if he's going that route, then he must be also more towards electricity generation.
Yeah.
And data-free access. I'll take him seriously.
Okay.
You see, electricity, give the people, because then you can't ban AI without electricity, and it has to be more electricity than the one we are already, and it has to be affordable. 1. 2, data access.
Which is very important, because that's what we need.
Yes.
That's what everyone needs.
Exactly. Talking about that, I heard NVIDIA maybe actually working with some new technology which they might bring a smartphone, or it's actually not a smartphone, it's an AI phone, which will work offline with its brain, no need for internet. That will be groundbreaking.
Wow.
It's groundbreaking, but it's also scary at the same time, because now it means you have to trust everything that the artificial intelligence, you may not have an option to actually like verify these things yourself, depending on how it's built. So you see, NVIDIA, everyone is going crazy. When is Africa going to go crazy with its tech? Is it? I don't like that. We're always talking about that and that. So I'm hoping when the Elder brings these things, they're really beneficial, but I'm also trying to see, like, how do you explain a data center or an AI center to Magogo in the village? What does that mean to them? Really, what? Nothing.
That is true.
Magogo in the village wants to know, am I going to get the seeds? Am I going to get water in time? Is my plants going to be done on time? And maybe they do, yes, want to speak to the kids on FaceTime, which we have to teach them and train them. But why should they worry about AI data centers?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know he also did say something, also going to the Elder, something about AI or some sort of sensor that if you take a picture of, I think, a seed or a flower, then it will tell you maybe what's wrong. That's interesting. That can really help the farm and stuff. So I won't knock everything down, but you won't hear me at all speaking AI. I'm not on that train. I'm not at all on that train. LibConnect Africa, we're all about real life solutions, stuff that I've grown up doing, seeing, and then we expand that. Because I told you, AI is internet to me. Internet has always been the super AI, because it reaches billions of people in a split second, and these billions of people, they all know things that even AI don't know it want to know. So why are we not then really getting to the bigger point of understanding that we need to develop really systems and not feed systems? Because a lot of our people, yes, this data center gets created, it's going to employ people to milk the mind and put into these machines, but these minds should be creating their own platforms. AI is getting smart by all of us, intelligence, but this has got no benefit to Africa, People say, no, we're teaching AI to speak Shona and Xhosa. I said, but then the machine is going to come and replace you then. You see, because you can't fight the machine, unfortunately. You can't. So, at what level are we going with this? You see, because in 10 years' time, AI is smarter than 3/4 of the people on this earth.
Super intelligent.
And it will rate you, and it will tell you, no, you can't. You see, right now we've got bouncers telling you can't go in the club, and you fight with the bouncer. 10 years from now, you don't have to fight with the bouncer, bro. The robot will be telling you no, sir. And there's nothing. That's an authoritarian state. We're going there with these robots. We're going there with these machines. So hence why LibConnect Africa just give people real life solutions. Here, charge your phone. because you can need to call your wife, your sister, or your mother, so that you can tell them food is ready. Some stuff like that, Go on the internet so that the kids can actually do homework. LibConnect Africa, we're out here for real life solutions. I was born in the ghetto in Kadoma, so I'm not going to come here and pretend like I was born on some...
In Silicon Valley.
Yeah, in Silicon Valley, whereby I must be telling people things that are outside the ordinary. No. All I talk about is real life solutions. What can we build, or how can we develop each other to build stuff that we really use, that we can leave our people using, and they can develop further. The only thing I know that we've created for each other is music. But you see, we can't sustain that. So the things we do, we really can't develop them further than they already are. So we need to skill differently.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, that is liberty. The name liberty means freedom.
Yes.
And liberty is all about using technology and internet to enable people, to give them freedom.
Yes.
To go beyond where they are. Liberty, just tell me, as an entrepreneur, you are not always an entrepreneur.
No.
It's like, you are a multi-faced person in a way that, like, you are an entrepreneur, you are an artist,
Yes.
You've got you built a career or education in you said computer science.
Yeah, so I've studied applied maths with computer science at the Stellenbosch University. And then for some reason my mind told me, Lib, I think you better hustle outside these things, So then in 2011 I dropped out and I went overseas a little bit. And I think from when I dropped out, university was very upset with me and my elders were upset for valid reasons. So then I realized I really had to either go back to the university or I really have to hustle harder than I ever did in my life, because I had to prove myself. Like, okay, since you dropped out of university, show us what you got.
So it's like, I must make whatever that I'm doing work. This has to work.
Yes, because I got elders who are watching me and elders who sacrifice their good sleep, their lives to ensure that I actually even get a chance to be at university. So how do you just say you're going to drop out? And also looking at the fact that I came from Kadoma, I'm the first one in my town, I'm sure, in my city, to come to Stellenbosch University. How do you drop out of such blessings? So it almost felt like I didn't appreciate. And for me to show Stellenbosch that I really appreciate, and maybe that time everything was happening too fast, and since I came from the ghetto, my mind, I had not yet put it together. So to explain to the elders, I think I'm better off outside university for now to gather myself. It was difficult to understand that. But I also realized that now that I have dropped out, I've got a lot of work to do. So I went hustling hard. Yeah.
Now, you became an entrepreneur. You went hustling hard, and then you decided, let me pursue entrepreneurship.
Yes.
What are some of the key lessons that you've learned in your journey as an entrepreneur that maybe perhaps someone who's an aspiring entrepreneur or someone that is already an entrepreneur can maybe learn from and apply to whatever that they are building?
Yeah, first I think it's trust yourself and give yourself time. And when I say give yourself time, I mean, it's not like we got all the time in the world, but be factual with what it is that you say you're an entrepreneur on. So like, I'm an internet entrepreneur, it's what people say. I never say that. Why? Because they saw something. So I have to prove that I am that. So it's like every day I work hard. There's no time I'm not working. Not because I want to, but I feel like I was born to do something like that. So the one thing one must do is believe in the art, but work on the art. Work on the business. Don't sleep on it. Don't give it to someone else and say they'll manage it. Yeah, that's after a while, once you have already proved yourself that you can do that. The second thing is trust. even though you want to trust a lot of people, don't. Because a lot of people are infatuated by things. Right now we're on the AI trend. 3 years ago we were on the internet trend. Next year we'll be on the maybe flying cars trend. The year after that we are on a smartphone that even knows, oh, that's Mhlenge and I belong to him, so I'm going to fly to him now and go inside his pocket. So don't just trust everybody, because me, I had to learn the hard way. You know, trust yourself, trust your team, and trust the process. It's not just easy said and done, and give yourself time to grow with it. And the other thing also is do the work, because it's tough to call myself an entrepreneur or even to accept that if I don't know the work, if I don't do the work. There's a lot of people who pose as this, but they're actually not that. So me, I always say to people, especially if you want to be an African entrepreneur, I think you want to be an African elder, you want to be an African difference, you want to be something that Africa look up to and say, wow, we have really amazing people. So I would think one has to be really trustworthy in what they do. They have to mean it. You know, they have to put in the hours. And you can't be scared, of course, if you are called to sometimes say showcase some of your work or go teach the children. It doesn't matter what country and stuff. If you are actually that guy or that girl, you'll be able to share that knowledge and be happy and stuff. So I think the three things is like trust yourself a lot, do the work, don't not do the work, do the work, and be careful who you trust. You know, I know a lot of people say, but money leave, you know. No, LibConnect, honestly, I started with no money. I was telling my brother and saying here, the way I started is like, if I come to fix your computer, you pay me, for example, 1,000 Rand. Then I take that 1,000 Rand and I buy 2 router boards. Then I connect you to the internet. Then you start paying me monthly fees. I have just now made the money that I was supposed to get once for it to be a bit, passive. Yeah, so it's gonna come to me now regularly, and then I'm gonna try to then go to that one. So now I've got this solution, that solution. So all these little solutions, they come together, and yes, you need money to do big things, but before anyone gives you any money, you have to prove yourself. So as I'm talking to you right now, you can say Stellenbosch University is even still watching me, because they're like, when is this guy going to finish a degree, first and foremost? And second, what it is that he's doing, where is this thing going? So they also check. And then the community itself. So I can't just think about money, because if I want money, then go get a job where I can get money, you see. So I believe like there's no money needed first. It's like a dream, and also, of course, having to do it for who are you doing it for? So for me, I didn't wake up and say I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I woke up and I saw there was a lot of African problems, and I thought they gave me birth to fix some of these problems. So then I just got busy again.
To think about like that entrepreneurship, to start, you don't always need money.
No, you don't actually.
I'm a firm believer that like if you are an entrepreneur, especially an African entrepreneur, if for you to start you need money, then you are not a good entrepreneur.
No, you're not.
Because I think first of all we've got plenty of problems. Yes. We are not in short of problems to solve.
Yes.
And then I think that like at least there would be at least 10 problems that you can see around you that you can be able to solve without any money.
Yes.
And I think if there is a barrier for you to provide a solution, then you should really question. Then by definition, you are not an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur is someone that solves problems.
Yes.
But now, if there is barriers like, but I can't provide a solution because I don't have money.
Yes.
Then it means you are not an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur needs to be someone that provides solutions.
Yes. You have to think outside the box, like really, really think outside the box. So while we're talking about thinking outside the box, I'm sure we're being recorded, but you and me right now, we are sitting with this Securenta. This guy is powered by LibTech energy. We can see, someone can say, but it looks so wires and stuff like that. But again, these are African solutions. Why did I create this? Right now, I give you an example. In Africa, right now in South Africa, people are voting. And we hear 3,000 people went to vote. But we're not sure if really that's correct. We've been sitting here for close to 1 hour or something. This could be at the voting station, catching 360. Who's coming in? Who's going? We don't want to see where they're writing their vote, who they're voting for. We want to see their face, where they're really there. You see, so that's a solution that can go to Africa and fix problems. People can use this as a CCTV surveillance system which you can remotely view with some LibConnect Africa internet. Yes, you can remotely view it. If someone steals this, wherever it is, I don't care because I already got the footage, for example. Not that someone is going to steal it. So these African ideas, they may look cheap to someone who's really not doing anything for Africa. Because if you start doing something for Africa, you understand that there is nothing cheap at all as long as our people are using it and they are happy.
Wow. Liberty, now where to from here? So like, where do you see LibConnect maybe in 5 years or 10 years from now? What's the vision?
So I think we are already late because Africans, we've been misunderstanding each other for a while. LibConnect Africa is Africa. So I think now Africans are slowly trying to understand that this vision I have is our vision. So from here now, we are almost done ensuring our family in Stellenbosch, our community is happy, from all corners. Because for me to go to the taxi rank, this is one of those places which can cause problems for no reason, right? Because the homes are fine, our offices will be fine, our Stellenbosch students will be fine, they are fine. So apart from just internet by the taxi rank, LibConnect, I've got students. I don't know if you know that I've already gone through 7 generations of students who graduated using LibConnect Africa internet. Some of them are working for the government, some of them are working for the university, some of them are, yes, we graduated students. We have got internet that goes to offices. We have got internet that goes homes. We have got internet now that we're trying to give to the public like that on the hotspot solution like that. So if you ask me, we're already late because our footsteps, of course, we are in Cedarville, we are in the East London villages, but we should be more everywhere. We should be getting to Zimbabwe at some point. As I say, South Africa, Zimbabwe, there's a good synergy there, whereby here we have got good infrastructure. We can share some of that infrastructure, fix Zimbabwe's problems, our SADC, create a very good, nice ecosystem, make proper money, teach each other how to really do that. Because with the internet, I was born to create these solutions. I tell you, you just need to drop me anywhere in Africa. In a week time, people are making money with this internet. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So me, I think in 5 years, 10 years time, if we are not in Zim, Malawi, Botswana, Zambia, Tanzania, what are we doing, And not me, we. Because Africans, we have a problem whereby these are African problems. These are not Lib problems. So how are we doing? What are we doing to get there? So if you ask me, I think, of course, LibConnect will carry on growing. If I tell you right now, I'm working on the next, I worked, currently what you know me for is a 10-year plan that I worked 8 years ago. So meaning everything I have created, I created it 10 years ago and it's still serving me. So now I need to come up with perhaps a 15, 20-year-old plan for Stellenbosch, so that if I actually go out of Stellenbosch to Africa with the team to build for the Stellenbosch family is happy. Of course, I was telling you about while I'm here with you, if something goes wrong, we have built that it actually does alert me. And now with this AI stuff that people like, we interject it in a sense that actually people don't understand something. This is where I'm interested in AI. To build my own version that actually does work for me in real time to solve real problems. I am working on AI, but I don't want it to tell you what is your name, where is this. No, I'll tell you very soon, or I'll show you what it will do. And you'll find that it's all to develop Africa. So as far as LibConnect Africa is concerned, of course, we're bringing more technology soon. We're going to go into production whereby the internet in the box, apart from it just being in Stellenbosch, it will touch the entire Africa. That is the longevity. But first I'll start with Cape Town. You know, if I can send this to Kayamandi taxi rank, if I can send this to Pineo, if I can send this to Lane Dock, if I can send this to Belleville, if I can send this around Cape Town, because right now Stellenbosch, the winelands, they're happy. But now I want to test out our Western Cape province. Once Western Cape is happy, then we have developed already the right people. We have developed the minds. Then that means we can send brains from the Western Cape anywhere around South Africa to ensure the work I did in 1 week, they can do it in 1 day. The work I did in 1 month, they can do it in 2 days. You see? So then Africa, so this now what I'm going to do is keep on inspiring you so that you actually believe that we can do this. I'm ready to do anything. I'm ready to build. I know I love Starlink, but I say we can do that. We have our own space. You know, we can send something there, not to fight with Starlink, not to be like Starlink, but that ecosystem to ensure that this money at least stays at home.
Yeah.
Because right now, if we buy Starlink, money is going to America. As I said, we are consumers. We're just buying a lot of stuff. So LibConnect Africa is there to ensure that I teach the African kid to be more interested in building their life. And they really will be very interested because the things that we're coming with or the type of way we think is interesting. It's what the African mind actually yearns and looks for. So I don't want to promise too much, but we will always be creative. I think as far as internet is concerned, we'll always be the fastest here in Africa, actually. I mean, yes, I do compete with those big guys because a brain is a brain.
Yeah.
You can send internet via SIM card, I send internet via Wi-Fi and stuff. At the end of the day, the same result. And the client, their feedback matters to both. Whether I'm a small guy, whether I'm a big guy. So to us, again, we say there's no work that's too big, but we also are not naive. We work hard. So LibConnect Africa will keep on growing. We will bring actually some of these securentas to go around to help in voting, to help. A lot of Africans love parties, but these parties are not secure. Hence, we create the securenta. While people are going through that entrance, it's recording who's going in, who's coming out. At our schools, we need to protect our children. This needs to go on days whereby we've got these functions where random people are going to schools. You want your daughter to be safe at school? So yes, these things comes to play. You are maybe camping. You can go with this now and charge your phone while you are up there. And actually you can take the TV, go watch TV, because this, if you don't want to watch the CCTV, it can be recording you, but you can also be watching just normal TV. So LibConnect Africa, I think, as the name says, we're literally going to connect Africa now. Because South Africa, what we have built as a family, I know people may not look at it like that. I think the little issues we've been having, it's about to all disappear, and then the work is about to start.
Wow.
You see, so I think if I know, if you know what I know, knowing that you know what I know, we are in a very good space right now.
I think it is so inspiring. I think it talks about like we as African entrepreneurs,
Yes,
bringing in solutions
exactly,
for Africa,
exactly,
and also having aspirations to grow beyond where we are, to just serve more communities.
exactly.
What's the last word? Or let's start here. What is one quote that you live by?
I think stay committed has been my line since I was young. Stay committed, because why I always say to myself that it doesn't matter how hard it gets, it doesn't matter how troubling it gets, but just stay committed. I don't know why I said it. I even have t-shirts, I think, some branding, which I have that, stay committed. Even I have a painting flower that I remind myself to stay committed.
Stay committed.
Yeah, stay committed to family, stay committed to Africa, stay committed to the causes, stay committed to African roots, stay committed to who you are. And who I am is all these things that I've just said. So I have to stay committed. Even if I don't understand you, but you are part of me. So I stay committed because someday you will understand me. So that commitment allows me to have room for, to maybe create some things like this, because I'm not forcing my mind to do what it's not supposed to. I just let nature guide it.
Wow, stay committed.
Yeah, stay committed. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Liberty Bwanali from LibConnect. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation today. We're gonna have another episode where we show you guys specifically his technology and how he actually uses his technology and how you can actually benefit from his technology that he has built around more than just internet, also the hardware, as you can see here. So we're gonna have an episode where he walk us through all that, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
I think also to add, we can come with two things like the taxi rank, because we're speaking about it, but we can actually show like in real time one of these days, whereby, because sometimes that's what I want Africans to understand, like we're not just hype, we're real life. There's real communities and people behind this, and we don't want people to think this is hype. No, we all we got. That's what I also say. So we must work for each other now and ensure that whatever the children hold on to is beautiful. Because whatever we're holding on to or not holding on to was either created or not created. So it's my job, you, me, them, to do what we would want, that Africa would want to see. It's beautiful. So it would be nice to take y'all through everything, because I'm sure we'll not even get to everything, because the funny thing is, while we're showing this, we're creating that. While we're showing that, we're creating that. So, so it's eternal, man. Yeah, we leave it on that.
And I think that's the thing about innovators. Innovators are always think about innovating. Innovating whatever that they have.
Exactly.
They think about inventing.
Exactly. Yes.
I think that as a creative person, I think that's how your mind works. How
it's always thinking. And also, by the way, like when I talk to you, when you talk to me, you actually help me create, or anyone, because I don't do anything if the people don't say do it.
Yeah.
I created the power stuff because we went into load shedding. So then I realized if I did not create my own UPS, I can't keep buying 5,000, 10,000 rand UPSs, then LibConnect will go nowhere.
Yeah.
So I had to learn the technology to create a UPS, not because I wanted to, I was forced to, to carry this business forward. Uptime was very important. So I didn't just create these things because I felt like I needed to. No, I was stuck once without power. My phone is off in my work. I cannot have a phone not working. So then I have to create these things, move with them, to ensure that wherever I am, I'm either secured in one way or the other, but I'm never stuck. That's technology. That's LibConnect Africa. So I can't want Africans to develop and I'm not helping them develop.
Yes.
For example, by the taxi rank, I tell them go to this website. Funny thing is, if they are on the network, they're going there for free. But if they were not on the network, the data is so cheap. It just feels like they're going there for free.
Fascinating.
We give thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I learned so much from this particular episode, just about the internet and how important it is to actually solve African problems and global problems. So thank you very, very much, Liberty.
Thank you, my brother Plengy.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Press brew.
Podcast.
Stay coffee.